Good evening, everybody. Welcome to First Responder Broadcasting presentation of Georgetown Eagle Baseball live here on the SHN Sports Network. We are live here at Connally High School in Austin, Texas for tonight's opening game of the District 23 season here in high school baseball. The Georgetown Eagles come in 5-9-1 on the year in regular season, in the preseason. And Connally comes in 3-9 overall. The Georgetown Eagle Booster Baseball Booster Club brings you the Eagle Baseball pregame show live here on the SHN Sports Network. The Connally Cougars here in Austin out of the Pflugerville ISD are the hosts for tonight's ball game. We will reciprocate that. Tomorrow night we'll be live back at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School at 7 p.m. first pitch for the Eagles and the Cougars in game number 2 of their head-to-head matchup each series for each team. It goes that way here in district now for baseball. You'll play the same team twice in a week, typically on Tuesdays and Fridays. This week with spring break going on, they're going to spread it out, make it quick to give the kids some time off towards the end of the week. And so tonight we're here live for 7 o'clock first pitch against the Connally High School Cougars. The Connally Cougars are coached by head coach Corey Colhane, assistant coaches Scotty Olivo, David King, and Noe Garcia, athletic trainer Kelsey Timmons-Monreal, and Brianna Portillo, athletic director Mike McCurchin, athletic coordinator Charles Burton, superintendent Douglas Killian, and the principal Daniel Garcia for Connally High School. For the Cougars tonight, the starting lineup as selected by head coach Corey Colhane. And I will go to the card on my phone because the wind is blowing out here, so we'll see how this goes tonight. Leading off, playing left field for the Cougars, number 4, that is Jose Rodriguez. Batting second in center field, number 7, Alvaro Ruiz. Batting third, the shortstop, number 9, Rooney Sandrea at shortstop. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 14, Antoine Scholes. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 13, Diego Arizpe. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Ramon Pulgar at second base, batting sixth. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 1, Fernando Galvan. Galvan, I didn't want to mess that up, Galvan, and batting seventh. Batting eighth, number 1, and pitching is number 15, Kenny Lambrada Cabrera. Kenny Lambrada is on the card, so we'll go with Lambrada tonight. He's on the mound batting eighth. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 11, Juan Rojas. Rojas cleaning up the bottom of the lineup for the Cougars. So you'll have Rodriguez, Ruiz, Sandrea in the top third, Scholes, Arizpe, Pulgar in the middle third, Galvan, Labrada, and Rojas in the bottom third for the Connally Cougars. For the Georgetown Eagles tonight, they come in coached by head coach Jordan Vieira, assistant coaches Chad Payne, David Durrell, James Key, and Frank Anzuris. Head of baseball operations, Jake Bachman. He's the junior. Ruby Hellman, Nicole Witt, Carter Campbell, Grace King, all the stat girls, and the manager is Jared Frimmel for your Georgetown Eagles. Athletic trainers, Chad Hennessy, Vanessa Rideau. Athletic directors, Jason Dean. Principal, Brian Johnson. Superintendent is Dr. Devin Padaville. The Georgetown Eagles starting lineup for tonight will go this way, as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira. Leading it off, playing center field, number 17, Devin Peterson. Batting second at second base, number 2, Talon Mighty Mouse Ball. Batting third on the mound, number 21, Riley Leininger. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 16, Reese Herrera. Batting fifth at right field, number 11, Jackson Rainey. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 6, Luke Holly. Batting seventh in left field, number 10, Andrew Nations. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 12, David Fluid. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 20, Jack Kiki. So it'll be Peterson, Ball, and Leininger in the top third. Herrera, Rainey, and Holly in the middle third. Nations, Fluid, and Kiki in the bottom third for your Georgetown Eagles. On the mound tonight for your Georgetown Eagles to open up here in the first inning is going to be the right-handed throwing 6'2", 220-pound senior, Riley Leininger. The pitcher for the Cougars, Kenny Labrada, is a 5'9", 170-pound sophomore right-handed thrower who will start off on the mound for the Cougars. And so we'll get ready for action. They're doing the introductions for the two teams right now as the Connally Cougars and the Georgetown Eagles get set to go. Once they introduce the two teams, we'll have the national anthem, and then we'll be ready for first pitch. The Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club pregame show here on SHN Sports. We are glad to be back at the helm. We took the 2 weeks off during the tournament action out of towns in San Antonio and Dallas areas. And now back at it for district play as the 5A Region 3 District 23 gets underway live here tonight at a 7 o'clock first pitch at Connally Cougar High School. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Eagle Baseball ready to go live here on the SHN Sports Network. Stay with us. Back here live at Connally High School, Austin, Texas, just off North Lamar Boulevard. Matter of fact, if you're on your way, can't figure out where you're headed just in case, we've got the address pulled up right here, and I just got to flip back over to it. The Connally Cougars CHS Baseball Stadium, 13212 North Lamar Boulevard in Austin, Texas. Last year, in 2023, the Cougars went 4-21 on the year, 0-14 in district play as they open up tonight here at home against your Georgetown Eagles. An opportunity for Georgetown to kind of right some wrongs, some things worked on those trips. Talked to Coach Jordan Vieira yesterday back at the stadium, getting ready for the week, and some things for this team to work out, and now an opportunity to kind of start anew. This is the most important time of the season. This district is what matters for the playoffs. What your record is going in really does not matter. And so Georgetown sits 5-9-1 overall, but 0-0 in district, and a chance here to jump up early on the district standings and take the lead. They will be on the road, or next week the schedule will be against, I believe it's a Pflugerville High School next week, and so we'll bring you that action here. But we'll be here the rest of the season during the 2-week break at a perfect time to do some medically necessary treatments and back surgery. So we're back at action. I missed 2 weeks of baseball, but I'm not sure I would have remembered 2 weeks of baseball. And so now we're back in the booth, ready to go, and what a night here. Beautiful overcast night, cool, but a little bit of a breeze from our back, blowing out from behind home plate out to straight center field. 318 down the left field line, 356 to the left of power alley, 400 to straight dead center field to the batter's eye. 352 to right center field, and 320 down the right field line, an all-grass surface here for the Connally Cougars. Grass infield, grass outfield with dirt around the infield playing surface. Dirt mound, dirt home plate. And now stepping in for the first pitch of the ball game is number 17, Devin Peterson. He'll lead it off from the right side against Kenny Labrada. Peterson, the 6'2", 205-pound senior, the first pitch from Labrada on the outside corner for a called strike. No balls, one strike to Devin Peterson, leading off here. In the top of the first, Peterson on the season, a .390 batting average, .471 on-base percentage. As he steps back in, Labrada from the stretch, the 0-1 pitch, low and outside. Nice stop there by the catcher, Arizpe, and it evens out the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson, 16 hits on the season, 9 of them singles, 6 doubles, no triples, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, and 10 runs scored, 8 walks, 12 strikeouts. Steps back in from the right side. Labrada, the 1-1 pitch. Peterson pops it up right side on the infield. Scholes will give chase at first base, back in the right shallow center field. He can't make the catch. It's off the glove over his head as he almost falls to the ground, and Peterson's going to advance to second base. And the leadoff man aboard down at second base. And Devin Peterson for your Georgetown Eagles. A tough play there for Scholes as he backpedaled into shallow right field. And about the time he got turned to try to make a catch, it goes off of his glove to the right fielder, Rojas, but he's unable to complete the play. And so a leadoff hit. I guess we're going to rule that a double there for Devin Peterson. And that'll bring Mighty Mouse up to bat. Number 2, Talon Ball will step in. Ball from the right side. Labrada comes set from the stretch. A look back at second base. Ball squares the bunt. Bunts at it, but misses. And it's a first strike there. 0-1 to count to Talon Ball. Trying to go to the game changer. The 0-1 pitch, ball line drive into center field, and the center fielder has to take about 1 step to glove it for out number 1. L8 in the book to retire Talon Ball in the Eagles here in the top of the first. That'll bring up number 21, Riley Leinecker. 6'2", 220-pound senior, throws right, bats left, steps in here for Georgetown with 1 out and a runner at second base. Leinecker will step in from the left side. Labrada works from the stretch, third base side of the rubber. First pitch, Leinecker swing and ground ball pulled foul down the first baseline. 0-1 to count. Oh, good job by Labrada here in the first inning. He's got ahead on all 3 batters, 0-1 to start out the counts. Leinecker on this season, .333 batting average, .488 on base percentage, 10 hits, 6 of them singles, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 12 RBIs. An opportunity here for Riley to get another RBI if he can put one into play in the outfield. Definitely got to believe you'll score Devin Peterson from second base. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first. Leinecker back in for the left side. Labrada gets the signal from Arizpe, who comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Leininger lays off and takes it for a called strike on the breaking ball. 0-2 the count now. To the senior right-handed pitcher, Riley Leininger. On deck, the catcher, Reese Herrera, for your Georgetown Eagles. Georgetown in the road grays today. Gray pants, gray tops. Georgetown blue numbers and lettering on the front in Georgetown. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball sent into left field. Rodriguez will range over and make the catch for out number 2. F7 in the book to retire Leininger for out number 2. And that'll bring up Reese Herrera here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning.
Number 16, Reese Herrera.
Reese Herrera will step in, the 6'1", 190-pound senior. Bats right, throws right. He'll step in here with a runner at second base and 2 outs in the top of the first. On deck will be Jackson Rainey, the right fielder. Should Reese be able to extend the inning. Labrada with the long look in, gets the sign, comes set in the stretch. The first pitch is low and outside. Good block there from Arizpe. And Jackson Rainey ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Herrera on the season, a .281 batting average. 9 hits, 8 of them singles, 1 double. He's got 4 RBIs. He comes set from the right side. Labrada look back at second, the 1-0 pitch, and Herrera fouls it off back to the screen. And the count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike. Defensively for the Cougars, Rodriguez in left, Ruiz in center, Rojas in right field, Galvan at third base, Sandrea at short, Pulgar at second as they try to go throw behind Peterson at second base. He dives back in safely. Pulgar at second, Scholes at first, Arizpe behind the mound, and Labrada on the bump for the Cougars here in the top of the first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Reese Herrera with 2 outs and a runner at second. Devin Peterson led off, reached second base on a drop pop fly down the right field line. This one down in the dirt. Another good block by Arizpe to keep it in front of him. And now a 2 ball, 1 strike count to Herrera. Maybe the night for home runs tonight. Getting it up in this win. A nice win coming from the back. 2-1 pitch. Herrera's going to put it into left field. Peterson advances to third base. He's going to be waved home, and that's going to be an RBI single for Reese Herrera, and the Eagles strike first here in the top of the first inning. Nice piece of hitting there by your catcher, Reese Herrera, as he gets the RBI single to score the first run of the ball game. The Eagles lead it 1-0, and in steps Jackson Rainey. He's the 6'2", 215-pound senior right fielder. Bats from the left side. Rainey will step in here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. It'll be a courtesy runner down at first base for the catcher, Reese Herrera. We'll check that number. It's going to be Cord Lawrence that'll come in a courtesy run, the 5'9", 155-pound senior. Lawrence will lead off first, held on by Scholes as Labrada comes set in the stretch on the mound. Throw over to first base, and Cord Lawrence back in standing safely. One run across, a runner at first, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Labrada comes set in the stretch, the first pitch, and Rainey sends it into left center field, slicing back towards left field. And Rodriguez will settle under it, make the catch for out number 3. F7 in the book to record Rainey for out number 3. And that'll retire the Eagles here in the top of the first. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After half an inning, Georgetown 1. Connally coming up to bat. Stay tuned with us. First Responder Broadcasting brings you all Georgetown Eagle Baseball live here on the SHN Sports Network. back here live, Connally High School. After half an inning, Georgetown puts up 1 run on a hit. 1 runner left on base as we go to the bottom of the first inning. On the mound for your Georgetown Eagles is Riley Leininger, the senior right-hander. He'll face off against the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Jose Rodriguez, Alvaro Ruiz, and Rooney Sandrea. Leininger will work from the first base side of the rubber in the windup. The first pitch to Rodriguez. On the outside corner, called strike 1, 0-1 to count. On the year, Leininger's thrown 8 innings, started 2 games. 1 win, 1 loss on the year. Allowed 9 hits, 7 runs. Foul ball there, makes it an 0-2 count now to Rodriguez, so Leininger way ahead in the first at-bat. Nations in left, Peterson in center, Rainey in right. The 0-2 pitch misses low for ball 1, 1-2 to count to Rodriguez. Across the infield, Holly at third, Kiki at short, Ball at second, Fluid at first base. Reese Herrera behind the plate, and Riley Leininger, the right-hander. The 1-2 pitch. Ball sent down the right field line. Rainey gives chase into foul territory and makes the catch for out number 1. Nice play there by Jackson Rainey to read that off the bat. F9 in the book to retire Rodriguez for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up number 7, Alvaro Ruiz. Ruiz, a 5'9", 185-pound senior, steps in here from the right side with 1 out, and the base is empty. Leininger with the first pitch. Ground ball hit out towards short third. Kiki will field it, throw across the diamond just in time to get the runner. Bang, bang play there. Nice play by Jack Kiki, the sophomore. 6-3 on the putout to retire Ruiz for out number 2 at 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Rooney Sandrea. He'll step in from the left side. Sandrea, the 5'8", 175-pound junior. Steps in here with 2 outs and the base is empty. First pitch, swinging, pop fly, left side of the infield. Holly gives chase into foul territory, but it's going to come back, and some miscommunication there, and it hits the ground, foul ball. But that one, the wind kind of playing with that one. A lot of foul territory here at Connally High School, as you can kind of see. A lot of drifting, grassy area for players to roam into to make plays like that. So a good job there, but now an 0-1 count to Sandrea. Leininger from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. In there, called strike. 0-2 now the count to Sandrea. The 0-2 pitch from Leininger. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's dropped by Herrera. He'll chase it down. He'll have to make the throw down to first base, but can't get a grip on it. So Sandrea will reach base on the drop third strike. So it'll be a strikeout in the book for Leininger. But the runner will reach base on the drop third strike. To put an error there, I believe, on the catcher, Reese Herrera. And that'll bring up Antoine Schultz, the first baseman. Number 14 steps in from the right side. Schultz, a sophomore, 5'10", 195 pounds. Leininger moves to the stretch now, comes set. The first pitch to Schultz. Lays off of the high fastball for ball 1, 1-0 the count. So the Cougars have their first base runner here in the bottom of the first. With 2 outs, Leininger look at first, now comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch to Schultz. Fouled off back to the screen, 1-1 the count now. To the first baseman, Antoine Schultz. Fluid holds Sandrea on at first base. Leininger comes set in the stretch. And now a time called at the plate by Schultz. We'll all step out and reset. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Georgetown pushes 1 across in the top of the first, has a 1-0 lead. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. A runner at first base, held on by Fluid. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball was a dirty one in there for a called strike. 1-2 now for Antoine Schultz. Foul tip on the pitch. It shows thought about laying off, but couldn't check his swing. Fouls it off back to the backstop. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Like to see the hustle out of head coach Vieira there, getting the foul ball. Good job there. Needs to do a little bit more of that this season. I'm going to keep pushing him. 1-2 pitch, outside corner, misses. Ball 2, 2-2 now the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Antoine Scholes, the first baseman, steps back in for the right side. Sandrea leads off first, held on by Fluid. Leinecker comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and the Eagles are out of the inning here in the bottom of the first. No runs on no hits, no errors, and one error, and one runner left on base. We'll figure it out. We're back to baseball, folks. At the end of 1, Georgetown 1, Connally nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. And we're back for the top of the second inning. Georgetown up to bat, brings up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Luke Hawley, Andrew Nations, and David Fluid. Hawley steps in from the right side to face off against Labrada. First pitch stays high for ball 1. Luke Hawley, the third baseman, steps back in from the right side. Hawley, 6'2", 180-pound junior. Second 1-0 pitch is in there for a call and strike. 1-1 the count now to the junior third baseman on the season. We'll find it in a minute here on the stat sheet. I'm not seeing Luke's name at all. There it is. Average of 184 on the season, 7 hits, 5 of them singles. 1-1 pitch was a ball. 2-1 now the count. Labrada stays in the stretch, works from the third base side of the rubber, comes set. Hawley ready from the right side. The 2-1 pitch. Up and away, ball 3. Now a 3-1 count here to Luke Connally to lead off the the top of the second for Georgetown. I want to believe it we're at home, but that'll be tomorrow night. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch there at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School. Back against these Connally Cougars. 3-1 pitch, low and outside, gets past the catcher, Arispe. Hawley will move down to first base. Circle the wagons. And now the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the second for Georgetown on the first walk issued by Labrada. That'll bring up number 10, the left fielder, Andrew Nations. 6'2", 190-pound senior. Bats left, throws left. Nations steps in here with no outs and a runner at first in the top of the second. Hawley with 5 stolen bases on the season. Threat here. He leads off. Scholes holds him on first. Labrada will pitch. Hawley off and running. The throw down is not going to be in time. Hawley slides in safely. So the first pitch was a ball to Andrew Nations. So 1-0 the count to Nations. And now a runner in scoring position on the stolen base by Luke Hawley. His 6th of the season. Nations steps in, a .348 batting average. .385 on base percentage for the Eagles. 23 plate appearances. The 1-0 pitch. Nations pulls the bunt back and takes it for a called strike. 1-1 now the count. To Andrew Nations, your left fielder. Now the catcher at Reese Bay will go out to talk. To his pitcher, Labrada. Shout out to the concession stand here at Connally High School. Not many people carry Coke Zero. Makes it happy. Makes me happy. 1-1 the count to Andrew Nations. No outs here in the top of the second. Holly leads off second base after a leadoff walk and a stolen base. Luke continues to lead off second base here as Nation squares the bunt early. Scholes will charge in, pull it back, take it inside. Ball 2, 2-1 the count now. David Fluid, Jack Kiki due up here in the bottom of the inning behind Nations. Labrada will come set in the stretch. Nation squares again. Pulls it back, takes this one up and away. Ball 3. So 2 hitters in a row get a 3-1 count here from Labrada in the top of the second. So an opportunity for a hitter's pitch here from Andrew Nations with a runner in second base and no outs. Nations up in the front of the box, squares again. The pitch. Nations bunts it, but bunts it foul back behind him. So a full count now to Andrew Nations here in the bottom or top of the second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Holly leads off second base. Labrada gets the sign and comes set. The 3-2 pitch, up and away. Ball. As I say, the Nation stood there. I thought it was ball 4. Back-to-back walks as runners at first and second base for your Georgetown Eagles. And that'll bring up number 12, David Fluid. Fluid will step in, the 6'1", 170-pound junior. Bats left, throws left. Playing first base tonight. If he's on first tonight and Leininger's on the mound, I think that gives you an idea of where you might find him tomorrow night for the Eagles. Fluid steps in for the left side with runners at first and second. Holly leads off second. Fluid squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes it high for a called strike. Throw down to second behind Holly is not successful. 0-1 to count now to David Fluid. No outs here in the top of the second. Sun sets. Nice, beautiful night. Cloud covered. Lights up on here. Connally High School. Labrada comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Bound down to third baseline. Labrada fields it. His only play is off balance to first, and he does. What a play by Labrada, but a beautiful sack bunt there by Fluid to get it away from the fielders. So that sack bunt puts 2 runners in scoring position, now at third and second in Holly and Nations. 1-3 on the putout to retire Fluid on that sack bunt. In steps the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, number 20, Jack Kiki. 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. Bats right, throws right. Kiki steps in here with 1 out, and the runners at second and third. Labrada comes set. The first pitch, Kiki squares the bunt, bunts it up the first baseline. Labrada with the play, thinks about first or home, throws the first in time. And a throw back behind Nations at third, but he's able to get back in there safely. But nice play there, a good sack bunt. RBI by Kiki, gets the second run across. 1-3 on the putout to retire Kiki. But an RBI there scores Luke Colley from third. And Devin Peterson will step back in. 2-run lead now for Georgetown. Nations down at third with 2 outs. Peterson in from the right side, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Pitch from Labrada, lays off, takes it for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Back-to-back sack bunts, has the second run across. RBI there for Kiki to score Holly from third base on that one. No ball, it's 1 strike, 2 outs to Peterson. Labrada's pitch. And Peterson sends it to left field. It's a long one. It's on the run. It is gone! A 2-run tweak for Devin Peterson. He got it up in the jet stream, and it took off out of here in a heartbeat. And the Eagle lead doubles to 4-0. Second home run of the year for Devin Peterson. Well, what a shot there on that 2-run blast. Scores Nations from third and himself, so 2 RBIs for Peterson there on the home run. What a shot by Devin Peterson. So now it's time for Mighty Mouse to step in with the bases empty and 3 runs here across in the inning. 4-0, Georgetown leads it, but a visit from Coach Cole Hain for the Cougars. We'll take a quick timeout. Eagle Baseball continues in just a moment. The visit with Coach Cole Hain ends quickly. And now stepping in from the right side. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. It's Talon Ball. Bases are empty, 2 outs, 3 runs across. Ball takes the first pitch for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. A beautiful line drive shot right at the center fielder Ruiz back at the first inning for Ball. Ruiz, I don't think, had to move 2 steps to make the catch, make good contact. Ball looking here now. No balls and a strike with 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off back behind home plate. 0-2 now the count to Talon Ball. We talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. Talon Ball finishes state runner-up in the 150-pound weight class of state wrestling in his senior season. What a great year for Talon Ball, that young man. 2-sport stud here at Georgetown High School. Steps back in. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Ball lays off. The breaking ball down in the dirt. For ball 1, nice stop by Arispe. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. 3 runs across for Georgetown, capped off by a 2-run bomb by Devin Peterson. The 1-2 pitch fouled off back to the screen. And the count stays the same. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Talon Ball. On deck is Riley Leininger. Should Talon Ball be able to extend the inning here with 2 outs. Labrada looks in and gets the sign from Arispe. Labrada comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch down in the dirt for ball 2. 2-2 the count now to Talon Ball. Labrada with a long look in, comes set from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Ball sends it in a ride to center fielder. Ruiz on the run for it, and he'll get over to it in left center field, or right center field, for the catch to end the inning for the Eagles. F8 in the book for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Georgetown puts up 3 runs on 1 hit. No errors and no runners left on base after an inning and a half. 4-0, Georgetown leads it over Connally. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Leininger on for his second inning of work here for the Eagles. 14 pitches thrown in the first inning as he faced 4 batters. No runs on no hits. 1 error and 1 runner left on base. Will face off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Arispe, Pulgar, and Galvan for the Cougars.
Leading off for the Cougars, number 13, Diego Arispe.
Arispe, the catcher, steps in for the Cougars. He steps in from the right side. Arispe, a 5'10", 180-pound junior. First pitch from Leininger. Ground ball hit back to the mound. Leininger fields it. He'll turn to make the throw to first in time. 1-3 on the putout. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second to retire Arispe. That'll bring up Ramon Pulgar.
Now batting,
Pulgar will step in with one out and the base is empty here in the bottom of the second. Steps in from the right side. Pulgar, 6 foot, 155-pound junior, swinging a foul ball off into the glove of Reese Herrera for strike one. No balls, one strike to Pulgar from the windup. The 1-0-1 pitch. Slashed foul out of bounds, out of play into the sequestered football field. I don't think you're getting that one. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 pitch from Leininger. Fouled off back to the screen, and Pulgar stays alive in the at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. Leininger from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, infield. Leininger's going to call for it and settle under it just to the left of the mound, towards the first base side of the mound, and make the catch for out number 2. P1 in the book to retire Pulgar for out number 2, and in steps Fernando Galvan.
Now batting, number 1, Fernando Galvan.
Oh, Galvan will step in. Fernando Galvan, a 5'6", 130-pound senior, will step in here with 2 outs and the base is empty, trailing by 4. Leininger from the windup. The first pitch to Galvan. Blows it by him and swing and a miss. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Galvan. Leininger, the 0-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. 0-2 the countdown. Leininger well ahead of a Galvan with 2 outs here at the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And the Connally Cougars go in order here in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the third. Georgetown 4, Connally 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Connally High School. Head to the top of the third inning. Georgetown a 4-run lead, 4-0 over the Connally Cougars. Mahan Home and Commercial Services brings you the third inning of Georgetown Eagle Baseball, your source for all things roofing. We provide you with all the information you need to make a decision about your roof. The first line of defense against Mother Nature. A veteran-owned small business that believes in service with a purpose. Our mission is to service our residential neighbors and commercial community by providing the utmost quality materials and service. Our services include residential roofing, commercial roofing, ladder assist, and holiday lighting. Contact Jesse Mahan at 512-828-7800 or visit their website at mahanhcs.com. Mahan Home and Commercial Services, proud sponsors of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. Labrada on for his third inning of work. He gave up 4 runs so far in the ballgame, and he will face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here in the Eagle lineup to start the top of the third. Leininger, Herrera, and Rainey. Leininger steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Herrera 1 for 1. Jackson Rainey 0 for 1. But a big second inning for the Eagles as they finished with 3 runs on 1 hit. The key behind that was the beautiful back-to-back base on balls to Holly and Nations created the base runners, and then back-to-back sacrifice bunts by Fluid and Kiki end up pushing runners around. A run was scored by Kiki's sack bunt, scored Holly for the first run of the inning, and then Devin Peterson stepped in and hit a 2-run bomb to left field to bring in Andrew Nations and himself for the second and third runs of the inning and lead it 4-0. And so we go to the top of the third here. Leininger, Herrera, and Rainey. Leininger will step in from the left side. Labrado stays in the stretch. Leininger in now, ready to go. Labrada gets the sign from Arispe, the catcher. First pitch to Leininger. He lays off and takes it for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike to Leininger. Leininger back in. Labrada comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Low and inside. Gets past the catcher, Arispe. Count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike now to Leininger. 22 pitches thrown in the second inning by Labrada. He's now thrown 35 through 2. That one misses up and away for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Riley Leininger. Here at the top of the third. Labrada gets the sign, comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch to Leininger. Misses inside, ball 3. Leininger way ahead in the count now. 3 balls and 1 strike. Leininger back in from the left side. Labrada gets the sign and comes set in the stretch. The 3-1 pitch. Down and low in the dirt. Leininger draws a leadoff walk to open up the top of the third here for Georgetown. The third walk issued by Labrada here in the ball game.
Now batting, number 16,
Reese Herrera steps in. Courtesy running for the pitcher.
Attention, courtesy runner.
Riley Leininger will be number 24, Justin Soto, the 5'10", 170-pound junior. Soto to run for Leininger. As Herrera steps in from the left side, or the right side, with no outs and a runner at first. Soto will lead off. Scholes will hold him on there for the Cougars. Throw over to first base. Soto dives back in safely. Herrera 1 for 1 in the ball game. He had an RBI single back in the first and scored Devin Peterson from second base. Steps in here 1 for 1 in the ball game. The first pitch to Herrera, low and outside. Arispe had nice backhand there to keep it from getting behind him. 1-0 the count. So Soto unable to advance. Herrera back in from the right side. Labrada gets the sign, comes set. The 1-0 pitch. And the ball sent into center field. Ruiz on this run back. He'll make the catch for out number 1. And Soto will have to retreat to first base. So L8 in the book to retire Herrera for out number 1. And that'll bring up the right fielder, number 11, Jackson Rainey. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to left field in his first at bat.
Number 11.
Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Soto leads on first. Scholes will hold him on. Labrada comes set. The first pitch to Rainey. He'll lay off and take it. Soto off and running. He'll slide in, and he is thrown out. Caught stealing for out number 2. Two to 6 on the caught stealing. And Rainey will step in now with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the top of the third. This pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-2 the count now to Jackson Rainey. Luke Hawley waits on deck. Should Rainey be able to extend the inning? Labrada comes set from the stretch as he gets the sign from Arispe. The 0-2 pitch. That one stays outside for ball 1. 1-2 to count now. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Jackson Rainey. Base is empty here in the top of the third. Labrada now comes set. The 1-2 pitch. And Rainey sends a fly ball into left field. Shallow left field. The shortstop over, and he'll make the catch. Nice play by Sandrea for out number 3. P6 in the book. To retire Rainey, and the Eagles go in order after the leadoff walk. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base after 2.5 innings. Georgetown 4. Connally 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. we go to the bottom of the third. Kenny Lebrada will lead things off against Leininger. Leininger from the windup. The first pitch is high for ball one. Lebrada, Hernandez, and Rodriguez do up here in the bottom of the third. The 8-9-1 hitters. The 1-0 pitch stays high, ball two. Lebrada, 5'9", 170-pound sophomore, steps in for the right side. His first plate appearance of the ball game. Leininger from the windup. The 2-0 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike one. Lebrada back in from the right side. Leininger ready to go. The 2-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Leininger evens out the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and Reese Herrera knew it. He came out of there blazing to throw down to third. Second strikeout of the ball game.
Now batting, number 11.
Correction, third strikeout of the ball game. For Leininger. 2 1/3 innings of work. In steps Juan Rojas. Juan Rojas Hernandez, 5'9", 165-pound senior, the number 9 hitter. First pitch fouls off down the first baseline. 0-1 to count. Rojas back in from the right side. This 0-1 pitch. Misses low and outside, ball one. 1-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch from Leininger. Fouled off, back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The count to Juan Rojas. Rojas back in. Leininger gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, back towards the first base dugout. Tell you what, Coach Vieira got the moves tonight. I'm proud of him. Never seen him move that fast ever. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rojas. The 1-2 pitch. Pop fly left side of the infield. Kiki will back off into the grass about 3 steps, settle under it, make the catch for out number 2. P6 in the book to retire Rojas. And in steps the leadoff man, Jose Rodriguez, flew out to right field in the top of the first, or the bottom of the first. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game.
Jose Rodriguez.
Rodriguez will step in here with 2 outs and the base is empty for the Cougars. .22 pitches through 2 innings thrown by Leininger. 14 in the first, 8 in the second. Working quickly here in the third. First pitch, swing and a miss to Rodriguez. 0-1 to count. Leininger gets the sign from Herrera, the 0-1 pitch. Dirty breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count. Leininger from the stretch, the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking pitch, but this one stays high for ball 1. 1-2 to count. To Rodriguez. The 1-2 pitch from Leininger. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Leininger, and the Cougars go in order here in the bottom of the third. Third inning of Georgetown Eagle Baseball brought to you by Mahan. It says Mahan Roofing, it's part of their logo. Mahan Home and Commercial Services. A veteran-owned small business that believes in service with a purpose. Our mission, to serve our residential neighbors and commercial community by providing the utmost quality materials and service. Services include residential roofing, commercial roofing, ladder assist, and holiday lighting. Contact Jesse Mahan at 512-828-7800 or visit their website at mahanhcs.com. Proud sponsors of First Responder Broadcasting in Georgetown Eagle Baseball. Quick break. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. go to the top of the fourth inning. Luke Hawley will lead things up for the Eagles. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here. Hawley 0 for 0 in the ballgame. Walked, stole second, and scored a run for the Eagles back in the second inning. Leads things off here against Kenny Labrada in his fourth inning of work. First pitch to Hawley, a swing and a miss, strike one. 0-1 to count to the third baseman. Andrew Nations, David Fluid also due up here in the top of the fourth for your Eagles. Hawley steps back in from the right side. Labrada look in and gets the sign from Arizpe. Comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball one. 1-1 to count now to Luke Hawley. Hawley ready to go. Labrada comes set. The 1-1 pitch, low and outside, ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Luke Hawley. Leading off things here at the top of the fourth. The Eagles lead it 4-0. 1 run in the first, 3 in the second. Quick visit from the shortstop. Sandrea to the pitcher, Labrada. 2-1 count now. Hawley comes set. Labrada, the 2-1 pitch. Stays outside, ball 3. So a hitter's count here for Luke Hawley with 3 balls and a strike. Three-1 pitch. Stays high, a leadoff walk for the second time of the night for Hawley to lead off the inning and leads it with the base on balls.
Now batting number 10.
That'll bring up Andrew Nations. Nations is 0 for 0 as well in his first plate appearance. He walked and scored a run in the second inning. Steps in here with no outs. And Luke Hawley down at first base here in the top of the fourth. Hawley stole second base. Back in the second inning. Look for him as he leads off here. Held on by Scholes. A quick throw over, and Hawley dives back in safely. Nations, the left fielder, steps back in. Labrada look at first. Now comes set in the stretch. First pitch to Nations. That hits him. So instead of a base on balls, this time it's a hit by pitch. So back-to-back men aboard. First hit by pitch by Labrada has men on first and second base here in the top of the second for your Eagles. Steps David Fluid. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game. He laid down a beautiful sack bunt. Was thrown out 1-3 on the sack bunt. Moved both runners up to second and third base in the second inning. They both eventually scored. He'll step in here. Scholes plays in about 5 steps at first base. Galvan even with the bag. And now throwing to center field. No one was there, and it got away from the pitcher, Labrada. And that throwing error will get Hawley up to third base. So now runners on the corners on that throwing error. E1 in the book there to give Hawley third base. Now runners at first and third. And here comes a coach's visit for the Cougars. We'll take a quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Connally High School. We're in the top of the fourth. Runners on the corners for the Eagles. A leadoff walk to Luke Hawley, and then Andrew Nations hit by a pitch. Throwing error on a pickoff attempt to second base by Labrada moves Hawley to third base, and now Fluid steps in with no outs and a clean count. Labrada, after the visit from the coach Cole Hanks, comes set in the stretch. The first pitch, Fluid lays off. And Andrew Nations is going to steal second base without a throw. And so both runners now in scoring position with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. First pitch was a called strike to Fluid. So 0-1 the count to David Fluid, the left-handed hitting. First baseman steps back in. The junior first baseman ready to go. Reespe gives the sign to Labrada. Labrada comes set in the stretch. Now the infield's going to come in with runners on second and third. Labrada spins towards second base, but his infield is now up on the grass. No throw to second base. So an opportunity here for the Eagles to strike some more runs here in the fourth with runners on first or second and third, no outs. Fluid back in for the left side. Labrada comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2 now the count. To Fluid. Fluid batting .300 on the year. Has 3 RBIs, an opportunity for 1 or 2 more here at the base hit. Infield playing up. The 0-2 pitch. Low and inside. Fluid lays off. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 46 pitches thrown in the first 3 innings by Labrada as he continues to work here in the fourth. Runners on second and third. No outs. 4-0. Georgetown leads it. Threatening here in the top of the fourth. 1 ball, 2 strikes to David Fluid. Fluid ready to go for the left side. Labrada's 1-2 pitch. Fluid slaps it foul down the third baseline out of play. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base hit here through the infield with guaranteed score Holly. Depending on the jump by Nations, could score him from second. He's getting a huge lead with the infield, all playing up on the grass. He's halfway to third base with the shortstop. The 1-2 pitch. Fluid hits it into right center field. If that gets down, that's trouble. But the right center fielder is going to drift over and make the catch for out number 1. Nations will tag and head to third. Luke Hawley will score standing for the 5th run of the ball game. And a sac fly for David Fluid. Scores the 5th run of the ball game. And that is an RBI sac fly for David Fluid. F8 in the book for out number 1. Nations down to third. Hawley in for his 2nd run score to the ball game. And a great job of hitting there by David Fluid. Now steps in Jack Kiki. He laid down a beautiful RBI sac bunt in the 2nd inning. Steps in here 0 for 0 in the ball game with 1 out and a runner at third. Corners in for the Cougars. First pitch to Kiki. Stays high, ball 1. 5-0. Georgetown has the lead here. The top of the fourth. Nations leads off third. Labrada comes set. Swing and a miss as Kiki chased one down in the dirt there. 1-1 the count now to Jack Kiki. Sophomore shortstop. Steps back in here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third. Kiki, .231 batting average through the year. 6 hits, 4 of them singles, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. Steps back in. Labrada gets a sign and comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2. Now the count to Jack Kiki is Devin Peterson, the center fielder, on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the fourth. Labrada, a long look in, gets the sign and comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Nice stop by Reespe to keep Nations at bay at third base. And now the count runs even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lots of room behind home plate should one of those get away from the catcher, Reespe. Not much of a padded area at the fence to kick the ball back to the home plate area. So a tough play for the catcher should that get past him. Labrada comes set. The 2-2 pitch to Kiki. Down low, and that one gets away from Reespe. And here comes Andrew Nations. He'll score standing. So a wild pitch by Labrada puts up the 6th run of the ball game for the Eagles, and the count runs full now. To Jack Kiki. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Now the base is empty. Kiki back in for the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The base is empty here in the top of the fourth. Payoff pitch is high. Walked him. What a job there by Jack Kiki to battle through that one and draw the 1-out walk. The 5th walk of the ball game issued by Labrada. So a base runner aboard now as Devin Peterson steps in. Devin 2 for 2 in the ball game. None bigger than the 2 RBI home run in the 2nd inning to push it to a 4-0 lead. Steps in here with one out and runners on first. A runner at first base and only one out. So Peterson a chance to do more damage here for your Eagles. Labrada gets the sign from Arizpe. Comes set in the stretch. Kiki off and running. Peterson puts it into play. A little dribbler out to third, and he's going to beat the play to first, and it gets away. Peterson up to second base. Kiki's being waved around third. He's going to come home and be the 7th run of the ball game. Peterson all the way around second. He'll stand at third base. And a beautiful job there by Devin Peterson, the hit and run. It looks like it was the hit and run. Kiki was off and running. Peterson put contact into the ball, hit it out towards third. It was a tough play there by Galvan. And I think Peterson was safe no matter what, so he's going to get the infield single and then a 2-base error on the throw by Galvan. And Peterson down at third base, will one out. And in steps Talon Ball, the second baseman. 7-0, Georgetown leads it. Peterson gets the RBI there on the infield single. Advances the third on the 2-base throwing error by Galvan. First pitch to Talon Ball. Ball lays off and takes it for a called strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch. Ball gives it a charge. Straightaway center field. The outfielder turns and runs, and he's not going to get to it. A two-hopper off the dead center field wall. Talon Ball around second base. He's charging for third. He's got an RBI stand-up triple. Mighty Mouse lays one out there to dead center field, and what a shot there by Talon Ball. 8-0. Georgetown leads it, and that's going to be all she wrote for Labrada here in the ball game as Coach Colhane out of the dugout. And we'll take a quick timeout for this pitching change. Stay with us. Georgetown baseball continues in just a moment. Back out of the pitching change. The third baseman, Galvan, will come on to pitch. Labrada goes to third base. The first pitch to Leininger is inside for a called ball one. 1-0 the count. Talon Ball, an RBI triple. Puts the 8th run across as he scores Peterson from third base. The 1-0 pitch to Leininger misses for ball two. 2-0 the count now to Riley. Leininger 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out in the left in the first. Walked in the third. The 1-1 pitch up and away, or 2-0 pitch up and away. Ball 3 now. Leininger way ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Fernando Galvan on in relief here. The 5'6", 130-pound senior Third baseman moves to the mound. The pitcher Labrada to third. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. A 3-1 count now to Leininger. The 3-1 pitch to Leininger. Up and away, ball 4. So the first walk issued by Galvan. He walks the first batter he faces in Riley Leininger. Now runners at the corners with 1 out. Courtesy runner here for Leininger will be Justin Soto, number 24. Stepping up to bat here will be the catcher, Reese Herrera. Right-handed hitting catcher steps in. Here in the ball game, 1 for 2 on the night. As runners on the corners with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Galvan works from the stretch. Leininger leads off first. Scholes will hold him on there. First pitch to Herrera. Outside corner called strike 1.
Attention. Courtesy runner at first base, number 24, Justin Soto. 24, Soto.
The 0-1 pitch to Herrera. Hits him. You hear the scream of the crowd. It was up towards the chin. Have some chin music. I think it struck the fiddle. Shoulder area of Herrera. Well, the base is loaded now. Courtesy runner here will be Cord Lawrence for the catcher, Reese Herrera. Base is full of Eagle runners now as Jackson Rainey steps in.
Jackson Rainey.
Good spot here for Jackson Rainey. Base is loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Galvan's first pitch to Rainey. Off the tip of the pad, out to the mound. Galvan's only play to first. The rocket across the diamond in time. But what a job there. Rainey scores the run from third base. The cue ball shot there. 1-3 on the play. 4 out, number 2. And that'll be an RBI.
Number 6.
Scores Talon Ball from third base. And the runners advance to second and third. Now Luke Hawley will step in. With runners at second and third and 2 outs. Hawley led off the inning with a base on balls. First pitch swinging. Fouls it off for strike 1. Eagles now with 5 runs across here in the inning. 9-0. They lead it. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Galvan comes set. Hawley ready. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 count now to Luke Hawley. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Hawley takes it up and away for ball 1. 1-2 the count now. Galvan comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Hawley sends it into left field. If it's down, it's a RBI, and it's not. What a catch there by Rodriguez to end the inning for the Eagles. L7 in the book to retire Hawley for out number 3, but not before the Eagles do some damage here in the top of the 4th. 5 runs across. We'll gather the totals and be back after this break. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cougars will bring up the number 8, 9, and 1 hitters. First pitch from Leininger misses for ball 1. They said it's number 7. It is number 7, Alvaro Ruiz. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. 1-0 the count to Ruiz. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. 0-1 pitch. Pop fly on the infield. Down the third baseline. Holly's going to give chase into foul territory, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Nice play there by Holly. P5 to retire Ruiz, and that'll bring up Rooney Sandrea. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Number 9, Rooney Sandrea.
Rooney Sandrea bats from the left side. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out swinging, but reached on a drop third strike. First pitch to Sandrea is a swing and a miss, strike 1. 36 pitches through 3 innings for Leininger. Steps in here, or leads off here in the bottom of the 4th. This 4th inning of work. The 0-1 pitch. Pop fly, left side of the infield into foul territory. Holly gives chase. He'll make the catch for out number 2. P5 in the book to retire Sandrea. And in steps Antoine Scholes. He's 0 for 1 as he struck out looking back at the 1st inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and no one on base. Trailing by 9, 9-0. 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 2nd, 5 in the 4th for the Eagles to have the 9-0 lead. Another run in the top of the 5th, and no runs allowed for the Cougars at the end of the rest of this inning or the 5th inning. It'll be a run rule, so the Eagles will try to close it out early here tonight. Get some rest before tomorrow night's ball game back at the Eagle Field. 7 o'clock. First pitch, 6:45 pregame. Join us live on the SHN Sports Network. More importantly, join us live at Eagle Field there in the stands. Fill them up. Cheer on these Georgetown Eagles. The first pitch to Scholes. The breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Dirty one there from Leininger. 0-1 to count to Antoine Scholes. Diego Arispe, the catcher, on deck. Should Scholes extend the inning. The 0-1 pitch just misses for ball 1. 1-1 to count now. Leininger from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Down in the dirt, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Scholes back in from the right side, ready to go. Leininger gets the sign. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That was a little mano-y-mano there. Leininger reared back and fired the fastball. Blew it by Scholes, and now a 2-2 count with 2 outs and a base is empty. 2's across the board. Leininger gets the sign from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, Scholes went for it. Herrera gets the block. He'll throw it down to first base, and Scholes is retired for out number 3. Cougars go in order here in the top or bottom of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 5th. 9-0. Georgetown leads it. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Go to the top of the 5th inning. It is brought to you by Jenny Mahan, Caldwell Banker Realty. Proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting at Georgetown Eagle Baseball. A licensed real estate agent since 2016, Jenny is a family-first person that gives all she has to her family. In turn, Jenny takes that same love of family and delivers that to her clients from the start. Happy to help anyone looking to buy or sell a house, farm, or ranch. Let Jenny help you. Contact Jenny at 817-404-9203 or email at jenny.mahan@cbunited.com. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, 9-0, Georgetown leads it over the Connally Cougars. Galvan on for his 2nd inning of work and relief. Came on with an out in the top of the 4th inning. Pitched to about 4 hitters there through 18. Let's see, I had it down. It's hard to see right now. 12 pitches in the inning. In his 1st inning of work. Comes in here for the top of the inning for the Eagles. He'll face off against the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. But now we'll have some pinch hitters coming in here for the Eagles. First pinch hitter for Andrew Nations looks like it's going to be 9. That's going to be Colton Crutchfield. Crutchfield will step in from the right side for his first plate appearance here, pinch hitting in the top of the 5th. Crutchfield, 6'2", 180-pound junior. Bats right, throws right, steps in here. Face off against Galvan. So now I got to go find all my updates here in the book. Crutchfield steps in from the right side. First pitch from Galvan. Stays high for ball 1. Crutchfield gives this one a ride. Deep center field. Ruiz drifts back and makes the catch for out number 1. F8 in the book to retire Crutchfield. Here in the top of the 5th inning. Now steps in number 12. That's David Fluid. Fluid steps in. 0 for 0 in the ball game. A sack bunt in the 2nd inning. And a sack fly RBI in the 4th. Steps in here with 1 out and the base is empty. Galvan from the windup. The first pitch to Fluid. Stays up and away. Ball 1. Fluid ready to go. The 1-0 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Arizpe. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Kiki on deck for the Eagles. The 1-1 pitch to Fluid. Stays up and away. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now. The junior first baseman, David Fluid. Galvan from the windup. The 2-1 pitch. Misses outside, ball 3. Hitters count here for David Fluid. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fluid back in, ready to go. Galvan from the windup. The 3-1 pitch. Fouled off down the third baseline, out of play, and the count goes full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to David Fluid with Jack Kiki waiting on deck. Here in the top of the 5th, 9-0. Georgetown leads it over the Connally Cougars. These two teams will rematch tomorrow. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch over at Eagle Field, Georgetown High School, 2211 North Austin Avenue. If you want to come join us, it'll be a beautiful night for baseball. Full count and a walk issued. David Fluid. Galvan's second walk of the ball game. Now a 1-out base runner for Jack Kiki. Fluid heads down to first base. Now Kiki steps in from the right side, the sophomore shortstop. 5'10", 170 pounds, steps in, the number 9 hitter in the lineup with Devin Peterson on deck for Georgetown. Kiki in the ball game. 0 for 0 as well. Walked and scored a run in the 4th. An RBI sack bunt in the 2nd. Puts a charge into this one, left center field. Ruiz will range over and make the catch for out number 2. F8 in the book to retire Kiki for the 2nd out. Fluid will retreat back to first base, and that'll bring up Devin Peterson. Center fielder, number 1 hitter in the lineup. Steps in with 2 outs and a runner at first here in the top of the 5th. Not saying it has to happen, but sure would like to see a shot to the gap and score Fluid to get that 10-run cushion or a home run, anything to get the Eagles into that run rule status. Peterson in for the right side. Galvan from the stretch. The first pitch. Up and in. Ball 1. Peterson scored 3 runs on the night. Has 3 RBIs as well. 3 hits. The 1-0 pitch from Galvan. Down low and in the dirt. Good block there by Arizpe. 2-0 the count now to Peterson. Fluid leads off first base, being held on by Scholes. The 2-0 pitch got away wide and all the way to the backstop. Fluid will easily cruise into second base. On that wild pitch, the first thrown by Galvan. And the count now, 3 balls and no strikes to Peterson. With the Mighty Mouse Talon ball on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the 5th. Galvan gets the sign and comes set. A look back at second base, the 3-0 pitch to Peterson. Peterson lays off and takes it, a called strike there. Zone widening, called strike 1. 3-1 the count now. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. The runner off second. The 3-1 pitch to Peterson. He sends it right center field. Deep fly ball. Ruiz drifts over to his left, and he'll settle under it to make the catch for out number 3. F8 in the book. Ruiz hogs them all for the Cougars and keeps the runners off the board for the Eagles here in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on, or one runner left on after 4.5. Eagles 9, Connally Cougars nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. The bottom of the 5th inning brought to you by Jenny Mahan, Caldwell Banker Realty, proud sponsor of Georgetown Eagle Baseball, first responder broadcasting. Bringing the 5th inning of action here for Georgetown Baseball tonight. Leininger on for his 5th inning of work. He'll face off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. First pitch is in there for a called strike to the catcher, Diego Arizpe. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game, grounded out to the pitcher, Leininger, back in inning number 2. Leininger from the windup. Gets the sign from Herrera, the 0-1 pitch. Popped up back to the backstop. 0-2 now the count to the catcher, Arizpe. So far in the ball game, Leininger has not allowed a hit to the Cougars. From the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Leininger. Sits down Arizpe. Strikeout looking for out number 1. That'll bring up Ramon Pulgar.
Number 3, Ramon Pulgar.
He'll step in here, 0 for 1 of the ball game as he popped out to the pitcher Leininger back at inning number 2. From the right side, the first pitch from Leininger. Down low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Fernando Galvan, the pitcher, on deck. For the Cougars. Leininger gets the sign from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 1. 1-1 now the count to Pulgar. One pitch. Line drive hit out towards short. Kiki will field it, bobbles it, picks it up, throws the first, but not in time. So the base runner will reach on the error there. So E6 in the book on Kiki. I'm imagining they'll give that to him.
Now batting number 1.
There's a runner aboard now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Fernando Galvan will step in. He struck out swinging the second, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Pulgar will lead off first, held on by Fluid. As Galvan will step in from the right side. Leininger moves to the stretch, gets the sign, and comes set. The first pitch to Galvan. Outside corner, called strike 1. 0-1 the count with Kenny Labrada on deck, the third baseman now for the Cougars. Leininger comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. Quickly ahead, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner at first base reaches on the error. Held on by Fluid. Pulgar leads off. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7th strikeout of the night by Leininger. And 2 outs on the inning now as Galvan down for out number 2 on that strikeout. Kenny Labrada.
Kenny Labrada.
Labrada is 0 for 1 of the ball game. Struck out looking in the 3rd. We'll step in here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Leininger comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Labrada. In there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. 14 pitches in the first, 8 in the second, 14 in the third, 9 in the fourth. For Leininger, 7 strikeouts. No hits, no walks, no hit by pitches. Cougars leads off first, held on by Fluid. Leininger, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 0-2 the count. To Kenny Labrada. Tomorrow night, join us, Eagle Field. 7 o'clock first pitch. The Eagles will take on the Cougars. Second of 2 games between these two teams. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing, strike 3. And the Connally Cougars go down here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 5 complete innings, Georgetown 9, Connally 0. Eagle baseball will continue in just a moment. Caldwell Banker Realtor Jenny Mahan, proud to sponsor First Responder Broadcasting at Georgetown Eagle Baseball. A licensed real estate agent since 2016, Jenny is a family-first person that gives all she has to her family. Jenny takes that same love of family and delivers that to her clients from the start. Jenny is happy to help anyone looking to buy or sell a house, farm, or ranch. Just let Jenny help you. Contact Jenny 817-404-9203 or email her jenny.mahan, M-A-H-A-N, at cbunited.com. We go to the top of the 6th. Georgetown leads it by 9. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Eagles will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Talon Ball, Riley Leininger, Reese Herrera duo up here in the inning to face off against Galvan on for his 3rd inning of work and relief for the Cougars. Talon Ball steps in, 1 for 3 on the ball game. An RBI triple in the 4th to score a run. Takes this one low and outside for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch to Ball, low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the leadoff man, Talon Ball. Leininger on deck, Herrera in the hole. Galvan works from the windup, the 2-0 pitch. And the ball hit down to third base. The third baseman can't get a glove on it. It's past Labrada into left field. Talon Ball will circle first base, takes a big turn, but he'll head back to first base. Hard shot into left field for the leadoff man aboard now on that base hit.
Now batting, number 21.
Riley Leininger will step in for your Eagles. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out in the first. Walked in the 3rd and 4th innings. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Galvan will go to the stretch. Talon Ball leads off first. Scholes will hold him on there. First pitch to Leininger. Up high for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Galvan comes set. A 1-0 pitch. Up and away. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. To Riley Leininger. Galvan comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Stays inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count now to Riley Leininger. No outs here in the top of the 5th. 9-0. Georgetown leads it. Galvan comes set. The 3-0 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 1. 3-1 now the count. To Leininger. Talon Ball leading off first, held on by Scholes. After the leadoff base hit to left field. The 3-1 pitch. Leininger shot into right field. Does it get down? It's over the head of the right fielder. It's all the way to the wall on a one hop. Talon Ball around second. He's headed to third. Leininger will stand up with a double. As Coach Vieira will stop Talon Ball at third base. Now runners on second and third with no outs on back-to-back hits. Nice shot there. My Leininger got it over the head of Rojas in right field all the way to the wall on a hopper. Talon Ball all the way up to third base.
Now batting, number 16.
Justin Soto in to run for the pitcher, Riley Leininger.
Courtesy runner at second base, number 24, Justin Soto. 24, Soto.
So Talon Ball down at third base. Soto, the courtesy runner at second, and in steps Reese Herrera. He's 1 for 2, was hit by a pitch, singled and lined out. First pitch stays high for ball 1 to Herrera. The 1-0 pitch, Herrera fouls it off down the first baseline, out of play. 1-1 now the count to the catcher, Reese Herrera. Jackson Rainey is not on deck. Looks like Tate Ritchie will pinch hit for Rainey in the number 5 slot. 1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. 1-2 now the count to Reese Herrera. That one high and over the head of Reese Herrera. He was already delivered a chin music in the last inning when he was hit up near the head area. Two pitch misses for ball 3, and now a full count to Reese Herrera. This one misses, low and outside. The base is full now for the Eagles. Herrera reaches on a base on balls. The third allowed by Galvan. And in steps Tate Ritchie to pinch hit here for the Eagles. Ritchie, the 5'7", 160-pound junior, will hit for Jackson Rainey.
Attention. Now batting for Georgetown, number 5, Tate Ritchie.
Base is loaded, no outs here at the top of the fifth. Infield in on the grass. First pitch to Ritchie. He'll lay off and take it on the top half of the zone for a called strike.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 4, Cord Lawrence.
Cord Lawrence, courtesy runner for Herrera down at first base. The 0-1 pitch, Ritchie fouls it off back to the screen. 0-2 now the count to the pinch hitter, Tate Ritchie. Base hit here, scores 1. At least 1, maybe 2. The 0-2 pitch. Ritchie hits it out towards short. The shortstop fields it to play to the plate. Down in the dirt, but Arispe with a good job of digging it up and stepping on the plate for the first out, the force out ball at home plate. So 6-2 on the put out there. We're out number 1. Leininger, or make it Justin Soto, the courtesy runner, advances to third. Herrera, or Cord Lawrence, up to second base. And Tate Ritchie reaches on the fielder's choice. And now into bat for Luke Hawley is number 13. Reese Seaman will come in here to pinch hit. And he's hit by the pitch, and that'll give the Eagles the 10th run of the ball game. They need to have the run rule into effect. So that'll score Soto from third base. So a big hit by pitch there. Lord up to second, or up to third. Ritchie up to second. And now Andrew Nations will step in. Here in the top of the 6th, a 10-run lead for Georgetown. This one misses away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Nations back in for the left side. Galvan from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 now the count. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nations with 1 out. Runners loaded full of, the bases loaded full of Eagles. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Nations lays off and takes it for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Reese Seaman didn't even have time to call him. Going to give his info. Was hit by the pitch down at first. The 2-2 pitch to Nations. Andrew will foul it back out of play behind a home plate. Stay alive in the bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seaman, the 5'10", 170-pound junior, pinch hit for Luke Hawley, was hit by a pitch on the first pitch. He's down at first. The 2-2 pitch to Nations. Nations rips it into right field, almost took Seaman's head off, and that'll score at least 1, make it 2 as the throw comes in from right field, and that's a 2 RBI single by Andrew Nations. What a shot there by the big left-handed hitting Nations. He will score Cord Lawrence from third base. And Tate Ritchie from second base. Now a 12-0 lead for your Eagles. Seaman up to second base.
Now batting for Georgetown, number 7, Hayden Grooms.
Hayden Grooms comes in to run for, or to bat here for David Fluitt. 2 RBI single there for Nations. Hayden Grooms in to hit now. Steps in from the right side. First pitch is in there for a called strike. The 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch. Hit high in left field. Left fielder gets under it, makes the catch for out number 2. So F7 in the book to retire Grooms in his pinch hit at bat. And now Riley Hill will come into bat. Pinch hit here for the Eagles.
Number 3, Riley Hill.
No pinch hit for the 9-hitter, Jack Kiki. He's got runners on first and second with 2 outs. 3 runs across here in the top of the 6th. The 12-0 lead for Georgetown. First pitch misses for ball 1. Devin Peterson on deck. Should Hill extend the inning. A 1-0 pitch to Hill, low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, 3 runners across here in the inning. 12-0 lead. Georgetown leads it. 1 run in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth now. Galvan, the 2-0 pitch, hits him. Bases full of Eagles again. The third batter hit by a pitch in the inning, or on the night for Galvan. Loads the bases back up for Devin Peterson. Reese Seaman moves up to third base.
Number 17, Devin
Nations up to second. Now a visit from the coach for the Cougars. We'll take a quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. 5-0. And we're back here at action, top of the 6th inning. Pitcher coming in now, Ramon Bulgar, 6 foot, 155-pound junior, comes in from second base. Galvan moves to second base defensively for the Cougars. Galvan gets to face off against Devin Peterson. He's 3 for 4 on the night, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Steps in here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch from Bulgar, popped back out of play by Peterson. No balls and 1 strike. The 9th hitter of the inning for the Eagles to come to the plate. Peterson steps back in for the right side. Bulgar works from the stretch. He'll come set. The 0-1 pitch to Peterson. Fouled off back to the screen. 0-2 the count to Devin Peterson. Cord Lawrence pinch hit for Talon Ball. Should Peterson be able to extend the inning here for the Eagles? Bases loaded and 2 outs, an 0-2 count. Bulgar will come set from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Peterson pop fly right side of the infield, but it looks like it may curl out of play, and it does off the first base dugout. So Devin stays alive in the at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here at the top of the 6th. 12-0, Georgetown leads it. Peterson has the bases loaded, no 2 count. Bulgar comes set, the 0-2 pitch. Stays inside, ball 1. 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes to Devin Peterson. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Bulgar comes set, the 1-2 pitch. And a ball, line drive, hit out into center field. That's an RBI base hit. Scores 1 from third. The runner from second will come in to score as well. And it's a 2 RBI single for Devin Peterson. His 4th and 5th RBIs of the night. Great job of hitting there. 4 for 5 on the night is Peterson, as he scores Reese Seaman from third and Andrew Nations from second. Cord Lawrence will step in here to pinch hit for the Eagles in the number 2 slot. Lawrence will step in from the right side. First pitch to Lawrence is high for ball 1. Cord, the 5'9", 155-pound senior, bats right, throws right, steps in from the right side here. Want to know the count with runners on first and second and 2 outs. That one down in the dirt, ball 2. Nice stop by Arizpe. 2-0 the count to Cord Lawrence here. The top of the 6th, the Eagles lead at 14-0. It's Bulgar. Comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Catches the inside corner for a called strike. 2-1 the count now. To Cord Lawrence. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. 2-2. Now the count to Cord Lawrence with 2 outs and runners on first and second. 5 runs across the inning, 14-0. Eagles lead it over Connally. The rematch tomorrow night over at Eagle Field. Join us live on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting will cover it all for you. You can't be there at Eagle Field. Come join us live in the stands. Enjoy the baseball on spring break. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lawrence down on strikes for out number 3 to end the inning here in the top of the 6th for Georgetown, but not before they pick up 5 more runs. The Eagles lead at 14-0 after 5.5. Quick timeout. We come back. Eagle baseball, and we'll continue. And we go to the bottom of the sixth. Leininger on for his sixth inning of work for your Eagles tonight. No hits allowed through five innings on the mound. Enzo Moggers will pinch hit here. He'll take the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike as he pinch hits for the number 9 hitter, Juan Hernandez. A 1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Leininger blows it by Enzo Moggers. 5'6", 145-pound senior. The 0-2 pitch. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Moggers down on strike, swinging for out number 1. 8 strikeout of the night for Riley Leininger. Jose Rodriguez will step in here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, called a ball, 1-1 to count now to Rodriguez. Leininger takes a step off, stroll off the mound. The 1-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-2 now the count. And another strikeout for Leininger, 9th of the ball game. Rodriguez down swinging. Round number 2. And the Cougars are their last out.
Number 7, Alvaro Ruiz.
Alvaro Ruiz will step in here. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Ground out in the first, a pop fly out in foul territory to Luke Hawley in the 4th. Leininger from the windup, the first pitch hits him. No, doesn't hit him. Thought it sounded like it did him. My bad. 1-0 the count. Alvaro Ruiz, I thought it into the bat or an armband. Leininger from the windup gets the pitch from Herrera. The 1-0 pitch. Just misses. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Two and 0 the count. The 2-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike. 2-1 now the count to Ruiz. Rooney Sandrea on deck. Should Ruiz be able to extend the inning? 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 now the count with 2 outs. So 2-2 across the board. The Eagles strike away from ending this one in 6 innings. On the run roll, 14-0. Leininger from the windup, the 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch. What a dirty pitch, and the ball game is over. 14-0 as Leininger strikes out the side in the 6th. 10 strikeouts on the night, and the Eagles win it 14-0 over the Connally Cougars. We'll take a quick timeout, gather some stats, and then we'll have a visit up here in the booth tonight. Coach Vieira will come up and visit with us here before we sign it off. Stay with us. Georgetown wins it 14-0 over the Connally Cougars to open up 1-0 in district play. Quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. may have messed it up. We'll see. Nope, my volume's very high, but we're going to look. We got a couple of people to visit with us here. I think it's we'll go with Riley Leiniger first. Riley, what a ball game.
Yes, sir.
Sixth inning, no hit. And then we ended on a 3-strikeout performance there in the sixth inning.
Sir.
10 strikeouts on the night. Walk us through that ball game. It looks like you were in total command. Anytime a count seemed to get to 2-0 or 2-1, then it was like you locked in. You and Herrera back on that right, I guess, sign call and getting what you were wanting. And it seemed to work tonight. How you feeling?
I feel great. I mean, I'm just executing pitches up there with me and Herrera. It's just one pitch at a time.
10 strikeouts on the night to open up your senior season of district play against the Connally Cougars on the road. No hits. How does that feel? The confidence, you guys had a tough offseason but in non-district, but you played some great teams. Now you come to district, you guys have to lock in and stay playing good baseball against some teams that are going to cause you some problems and teams that are not going to cause you some problems. How do you do that tonight in such a good performance?
I mean, it's just what we came here to do. I mean, I want to open up the season with a high note. I mean, want to get in there, shove it a little bit, get in the zone, hype up my teammates, get them going, get the bats going. Definitely a good game.
How does this turn the tide for you guys now into district, getting a big win like this, go back home tomorrow night to answer game 2 against the Cougars, to start in a district and try to get on a roll? Kind of what happened last year, the non-district season, a little trying, some good things, some bad things, some things to work on, and then district went on a good run, 13-1, and won the title going to the playoffs. How does that right the ship now for this guy, this team, and you guys as the senior class to right that ship and get things going and motivated in the right direction to run through district and try to I think what's the goal? Win district, right? Every time.
Yes, sir.
How does this help tonight getting off onto that great foot?
Just starting off with the right foot. I mean, it's just setting a standard as well for the seniors and the whole team. It's just a standard.
Beautiful night tonight. 10 strikeouts, no walks, no hits allowed in the 6 innings of work with a 14-0 win to go 1-0 in district, 2-1 on the season. Congrats, Riley Leiniger.
Thank you.
Joins us tonight. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Mom, Dad, Catcher Reese.
Catcher Reese doing a good job tonight. Congrats, Riley. And now we'll take the headsets out and we'll hand them over to Coach V. He joins us here live at Connally High School. Coach, I tell you what, when you talk about the challenges you guys have in non-district and on purpose, the schedule you guys run to come out and to kind of let these guys right the ship. A lot of guys got some at-bats, but to have your senior righty go for 6 innings, 14-0 win, no hits allowed, no walks allowed, and 10 strikeouts speaks volumes to what that young man is able to lock in. How big is that for this team to get on that right foot for district?
No, it feels good. It feels good to obviously get the first one out of the way. And when you got a guy like Leininger up there who's throwing a ton of strikes and executing pitches, and defense is playing okay behind him, it tends to help quite a bit. We had timely hitting, right? We were able to get big hits when we needed to get big hits, and then open up, and the guys didn't back down, which is always good. And then you get a couple of at-bats off the bench to be able to add to the total. But, Riley's had 2 really good starts in a row now. One where he's been able to show that he can dominate with a fastball, one where he can pitch off a changeup and a breaking ball. So, he's got a couple of different options of being able to go to some different things, and to see him execute and repeatedly get after it today was a really good one. And Herrera did a great job behind the plate and helping him navigate it.
We go to 1-0 at district. Turn around. Usually it's going to be a Tuesday, Friday schedule for district outside of some holidays and stuff. But during spring break, it's back-to-back. Yep. Tomorrow night we turn around, go to Eagle Field, and play at Georgetown High School against the same Connally team. What do we look for tomorrow night from the Eagles?
We're going to come back out and continue to throw a bunch of strikes, play quality defense, and hope we get the timely hitting when we need it, be able to execute all the little things that we need to.
Good thing to announce. I don't know if you and I have had a chance to talk. You guys were out of town after the first tournament there at home. The coaches show will remain on Thursday nights.
Fantastic.
At Mesquite Creek Outfitters, they are at Mesquite Creek. Yeah. They were able to maneuver some of the live music stuff, and so we're going to be Thursday nights starting next week on the 20th. So join us every Thursday night. Coach V, myself, we're going to change it up this year. Highlight some of the freshman to JV players of the week, varsity, and then a little bit of trivia. And I'm not going to tell them what it is. If you tell them, I'm going strictly off the Georgetown record books listed online just to see if these guys pay attention to their own program.
Not a chance.
It should be fun to watch. But something that came across my text this week from Jeff Rogers, some things were changed, and we're able to lock down Thursday nights at Mesquite Creek.
Fantastic.
At 7 o'clock. So that's going to be fun to be able to visit every Thursday night there. But not this week. Tomorrow night we'll play baseball. You're going to give these kids, I would assume, maybe a day or two off for the weekend. And
we'll see if they earn it.
If they earn it, and then back next week for week number 2. Congrats, Coach. 14-0. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Love you, Macy. Love you, JMO. Love you, Mercer.
14-0. Georgetown wins it over Connally to open up the district season at 1-0 here at Connally High School. The Eagles will play at home tomorrow night. 7 p.m. first pitch. Come join us at Eagle Field for your – oh, there's the camera. Hey, I'm not used to this. First pitch at 7 p.m. Connally comes to Georgetown to play their back-to-back for during the spring break week. Come join us live there at the stadium. If you can't, join us online. I'll bring you all the action here on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting loves to bring you all things Georgetown Eagle sports. You heard about the two sponsors tonight, the special ones, along with Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club. You want to be out there and sponsor us, help us out. We could use the funds, use the help to keep upgrading this equipment and taking care of all these expenses we have to bring you free baseball, free sports here on the SHN Sports Network. Reach out, Kelly Duvall or myself. Our Facebook page, First Responder Broadcasting, will tell you all about it. Easy way to be an inning sponsor, the starting lineup sponsor, whatever you want to be, and just be a part of this to help continue to bring this free to the school and to these student athletes and to their families that can't be here each and every night. Thanks for joining us tonight. The Eagles win it 14-0 in 6 innings over the Connally Cougars. They go 1-0 on district in the season, 6-9-1 overall, and come back tomorrow night at Eagle Field at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us tonight. For my producer, camera person, does it everything and saves my life here is my wife, Jerry Ann. I'm Wally Harmon. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Good night, everybody.